20 years ago, job security meant that you studied for 3 years and then served at a single place of work for the rest of your career. And whether you think that's a good or a bad thing, the world just doesn't work like that anymore. Today, all careers, but especially those in the creative industries, follow these principles. They do not grow in a straight line. They are not singular in nature. They do not rely on formal education, and probably most importantly, they do not depend on any source outside of yourself for ongoing growth and security. I'm sure you've experienced some of this in your own career already, so if you want to learn how to navigate your own creative journey for maximum growth now and in the years to come, then well, let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Maynard, and I help creative professionals just like yourself to build a meaningful career and do the work that matters. On this channel, we talk a lot about connection, about communication, collaboration, and how someone with an exceptional creative skill like you can consistently build the kind of value that creates personal wealth and also makes a real difference in the world. If you want to join us on this journey, it's as simple as subscribing to these conversations and just making sure you never miss a thing. Okay, so before we jump in, I'm sure you have your own interesting career story just like me, but just to let you know that you are not alone, that your story is not totally strange or weird or just too much out of the ordinary, here's some quick highlights of how my own career unfolded up to this point. So after school, I studied a 3-year bachelor's degree and a 2-year postgraduate legal qualification. After that, I completed my articles of clerkship, I passed the attorney's admission exam, and I started thinking seriously about a lifelong career in the law. That was until one sunny afternoon when one of my friends invited me to a casual audition, and before I knew it, I quit my job, I put my 3-piece suit in storage, and I just literally ran off and joined the proverbial circus in the form of a musical theater-based performing arts company. For the best part of about 7 years, I sang and I danced and I acted my heart out. After that, I quit the touring life to start full-time work as an arts coordinator at a community organization. And in the years that followed, my career progressively developed into me serving as a graphic designer, a public relations agent, a communications director until now, where I'm happily serving clients as a brand and creative strategist with some writing and learning things on the side. My career has taken some sharp turns over the course of the past 20 odd years, including a couple of 180s, and honestly, it's nothing I could have foreseen or could have planned myself. However, I also wouldn't have had it any other way. Leaving institutionalized law to work in various contexts within the creative arts, it literally has been the joy of my life. And to just be completely honest with you, this type of go-with-the-flow career building, it comes with its own insubordinate amount of stress, anxiety, and worry about leaving the security of a formal education and institutionalized industry, and generally just a straightforward, easy job that is easy to describe to other people. That was until I realized that many creatively minded people from my generation were on the exact same journey as myself. My experience wasn't unique, and it was in part due to seismic shifts in culture, in economy, and just how the world perceived value making. In fact, it wasn't until about just a couple of years ago that I realized that my career trajectory up to this point is actually a perfect example of what the world of work is evolving into. A lot of this clicked into place for me when I read this incredible book. It's called The Squiggly Career by Helen Tupper and Sarah Ellis. The book explores the idea that career paths, they are no longer linear, and that it is now more common for creatives to have a squiggly career path full of twists and turns. I'll share the link to the short form summary of the book below, and if you'd care to read it for yourself, I highly recommend it. Ultimately, the idea of a squiggly career is about creating a fulfilling and impactful work journey that is uniquely yours. It's about embracing uncertainty and the unexpected circumstance that will inevitably come your way. One of the main points in the book is that we need to be super proactive in managing our careers, rather than relying on formal qualifications, on institutions, or even so-called long-term employment to safeguard us. This includes taking personal ownership of our own development, seeking out new opportunities, and being open to learning and growth. One of my favorite quotes from the book is when Helen writes, "Your career is not a ladder. It's a twisting, turning journey with friends you just haven't met yet." Taking everything I've learned in my own career and comparing it with the journeys of others, and also what the Squiggly Career teaches us, here are 5 actionable things that you can actually start doing today to make sure that you are gradually creating an environment where you can build a meaningful creative career and have the opportunity to do the work that matters to you. So without any further ado, and in a very subjective reverse order of of importance, let's get to it. Let's just get the obvious one out of the way. You need to make sure you are constantly working on your competency as a creative professional. Whatever your craft, do what you can to practice your skill, deliver masterpieces, and eliminate any errors. This is obvious because this is the one we all think makes the most difference. However, we still got 4 to go, and this one is at the bottom of the list for a reason. Next, you got to work on your curiosity. There is a direct correlation between your level of being curious and your openness to learn new things. A sincere, non-judgmentalist attitude is the difference between seeing new opportunities and just staying stuck in the status quo. And now we're actually starting to get into the meaty side of things. Next, adopting a courageous mindset is the next step towards taking radical ownership of your own career development. Taking your heart and your head into your hands and self-committing to be completely unafraid when it comes to venturing out into the unknown, whatever the context. That is how you go from being grossly dependent on others to having others being graciously dependent on you. Fear of the unknown is sadly one of the biggest traps that most creatives just willingly walk into, and it keeps them from making a significant dent in the world. The next two is probably the hardest, but also the best investment you can make for your future working self. If talent is what gets your creative foot in the door, then character is what will keep you doing meaningful business for decades from now. It's incredible to see how people with arguably lesser talent and in most inferior skill literally fly by those who have never done the work to become people who consistently display things like integrity, resilience, and just a robust set of character virtues. Your ability to regulate your emotions, choose mindful responses, and intentionally direct your actions, it's worth its weight in gold when it comes to creating value that changes things. If you only choose to do one thing today, find a way to further form your character and become the person you want to be 5 years from now. Lastly, and in my opinion, the most important factor is the people you choose to share your journey with. Building a like-minded community around your purpose, around your beliefs, your values, and your vision will play a disproportionately sized role in determining your ultimate success. I feel so strong about this that I'm willing to wager that no matter your skill, your courage, or your character, if you're not actively swimming in a stream of people willing to support and help you, the opposing forces will be so overwhelming you will never get it right on your own. So, how do you build community? It's as simple as it is difficult. Basically, seek out people that need what you can provide and just help them. The more you are of genuine and generous service to others, the more people will be inclined to offer their sincere assistance when the time comes. Mind you, this is by definition not a transactional mindset. It is an intentional leaning into building community through service, while relying on the power of true togetherness to open or even hold the door when you yourself cannot do it on your own. So there you have it, a curriculum for building a meaningful career in this new world of work. Work on your competency, obviously. Work on your curiosity. Work on your courage. Hone your character. Invest in community unselfishly. Ironically, the courses and the certificates and the degrees that were supposed to prepare us for work in the creative industries never helped us learn the most important things of all. Realizing the factors that ultimately move the needle on how you build your own unique career journey is critical, but never as important as committing to becoming a lifelong learner and actively developing them daily. This is the work, and you've got this. If you haven't already, subscribe to our weekly email digest. It's filled with fresh learnings to inspire your own curiosity and just put you on your own path of learning. Every Tuesday, every week. You can find the link down below. I so appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and if you're not ready to leave just yet, make sure to tune into any of these other conversations to further guide you on your path. As for me, I'll see you soon.